Anthony Hartwig with you for another United Girls Basketball player profile. I'm joined by another senior and Taylor Cope. Taylor, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And here it is, your senior season. So I guess the first question is, what's it like going through everything kind of for the last time and realizing that you have to navigate all the emotions that senior year can bring?
It's kind of crazy to think that this is my last year that I'll step on the basketball court, especially with my teammates this year. It's kind of sentimental, and I just want to enjoy everything that I can while I have it.
What has been the one part of this year that you've kind of treasured the most, or you've like reflected on the most, or made the most sentimental value to you?
Just the fact that the teammates that I'm playing with this year, we are ungodly close, which makes me extremely happy to know that I have a team that I can rely on and fall back on when I'm having my tough times, especially when we're out on the basketball court.
When you say that you guys are so close, what do you think is the most important part of building that bond and making it as strong as it is now?
I think communication is something that we've always lacked, and sometimes it could get better and sometimes it could get worse. But communication is the biggest key that I think of when I think of a team bonding together.
You've obviously been able to build a lot of chemistry as well, and a big part of that is what you do off the court and things that you do as a team off the court to build chemistry. What have been some of your favorite team bonding exercises?
Uh, well, actually, that's ironic. We just did a fun practice a couple weeks ago, and we did musical chairs. So coach told us to line up the chairs, and he played the music. But when you stopped, you'd have to run to the side hoops to make a layup without traveling and come back and try to get to the chairs before the other girls did. And you'd think the biggest girl on the court would be the first one out, but I was actually the second one left. And I just think that those fun practices are what makes us bond the most. And they give us time to just relax and be with each other instead of focusing on all the worries that we have when it comes to playing tough games.
You finished second. Who finished first?
Grayson did. She beat me.
Two of the bigger girls on the team, both apparently really good at musical chairs.
Yeah.
Um, when you think about, like you said, the hard times that come through a season and the worries that you guys all have, and the adversity that basketball can bring, what are some of the things that basketball helps you forget about those kind of things and it helps you kind of be almost therapeutic when you're on the basketball court?
Well, I've played since I've been little, and it's always been something I've been able to step in the gym, shoot a ball, and just forget about everything. Especially when you come home from like a tough day of school, just knowing that I can go to the gym and shoot and go over the stuff that we need to makes me just want to relax. Like it's just therapeutic.
We've talked to some of your other teammates, and one of the things we brought up is the past success of United Girls Basketball. You go in that gym and you see the banner of the 5 straight league championships not too long ago. What does it mean to you that now you've won 2 straight and you're starting to bring United Basketball back to the glory that it was at not too long ago?
It definitely holds us to a higher standard knowing that we have something to look forward to. It's almost like pressure on us to make sure that we are keeping that throughout the years. And I hope that they do continue that as I graduate and that they do have success in the program once I leave. But it's just crazy to think that the program's coming around again, and I'm just beyond proud of everybody for it.
In the last couple of years, when you've kind of been building this reemergence of United, did you ever catch yourself looking at those banners for motivation and for like just the inspiration of what you guys want to be?
I think that now that I've entered my senior year and throughout my junior year, I think it meant a little more to me than it did versus when I was a freshman and stuff. Because as a freshman, you don't really look at that stuff as it's a big deal. But then you enter your junior and senior year and you realize you don't have that much time left. So everything counts when you're on the court. So looking at those banners and knowing that I want to be one of those great people too makes me just want to drive myself even harder.
Since you brought up yourself as a freshman, when you reflect on your freshman year, what kind of things do you wish you knew back then that you know now?
I wish that I could tell myself that time goes way faster than you think because just yesterday I feel like I was starting my first varsity game and now I only have as many games as we can go for tournaments left, and it's kind of scary, but I wish my freshman self would be able to take it a little more serious, I think. I didn't really think that time would go so fast, but it does.
What about on the court? When you think about your on the court, game, how much have you developed since your freshman year? What do you think has been the spot that you've developed the most in?
I think I've developed in my maturity level a lot. As a freshman, I didn't really understand the court awareness, and I think that's grown as I've grown as a player. I'm a lot more aware of where my teammates are and where I need to be at times, and I think court awareness is a huge thing when it comes to varsity basketball because that's what it is.
I like that you bring that up because when you're watching United Girls basketball on this team that you're on right now, you realize the basketball IQ of you and your teammates is really, really high. What kind of things do you guys do to learn the game and build that basketball IQ up?
We pay attention to key details very often. When we watch film, we back it up, we watch what we did wrong, and we correct it, especially when we're running through plays during practice. I think the key details are what makes us stand out the most.
Last year you won the EOAC, but you had one loss. This year you turned the table, you sweep the EOAC. No losses in the conference, no one to share that title with. What'd that feel like this year to kind of prove to yourselves that you could go undefeated in the league?
It meant everything, especially for me as a senior, knowing that I can go out on a high note. Last year it was upsetting when we went into our last game and we lost to Columbiana. So our huge goal this year was to go undefeated in the league. And we knew the second time that we had to play Columbiana, it would be tough. They were going to give us their best shot. But I feel like me and my teammates did amazing, and I'm beyond happy that we were able to go undefeated this year.
That was one of your team goals. What about one of your personal goals that you had for yourself coming into the season, things that you wanted to accomplish as a player?
I definitely want to go far in tournaments. Everybody does. That's a big goal for everybody. But for myself, I want to go far in tournaments. And I also wanted to be able to put another league title on the wall, knowing that we were undefeated and we achieved that goal.
When talking about tournament time and obviously being a senior and understanding that every game you play, if you lose, it's the last one you have. Does that give you a sense of even more urgency in the practices and the preparation for these games, knowing that your career is, in the horizon?
As time goes on and we get closer to tournaments, I definitely take practice a lot more serious, knowing that this could be my last practice and I might not be able to come back in this gym and play another game. It's almost sentimental to me, and it makes me sad to think about it, but I want to be able to go out on a high note. So I definitely take things a lot more serious when we're in the gym, and I try my hardest to work as hard as I can.
So tell us about the personality of this locker room. We see you guys up on the court, and we know how you play basketball, but off the court, obviously you've already talked about how close you are. What's the personality of this team like?
Well, the locker rooms are definitely a little chaotic at times because we are a very loud team, but knowing when we're off the court that we get along so well is what makes basketball so fun for me. They're definitely crazy. They are a crazy team, and I would not trade them for anything.
Let's get to know some of your teammates. If you guys went to a karaoke night, who do you think would be the one person that would go up and rock the stage the most?
Sam. Sam is a nut job. She is crazy. She would definitely be the person. She's the most outgoing. Sam and Addie.
What song do you think Sam would sing in a karaoke night?
Oh, geez. I don't know on that one. I don't know. She's the type of person who'd do anything.
What about if we pushed you up on that stage? What would have to be your go-to karaoke song?
Probably Party in the USA.
That's a popular pick. So when you think about the teammate that you would trust the most to be a getaway driver for whatever reason, who's the best driver on the team?
Definitely not Grace Knight. I would probably pick Maddie Kibler.
Definitely not Grace Knight, so she is not the best driver.
No, she is a crazy driver.
What teammate do you think is the most likely to be the one that needs a getaway driver. Like, okay, you messed up, let's get out of here.
Grace, for sure.
You talk about how crazy this team is. I'm sure there are times when they know how to push coach's button a little bit. What's one thing that that you can get you can push Coach Leake's buttons with?
So sometimes at practice, we have to separate Sam and Grace on opposite ends of the court or opposite teams because those two and Katie together are crazy. And then that's when their attention span kind of goes out the door. So we have to make sure that they're separated at all times.
Who is the calming factor of the team? The one that kind of brings you guys back in line when it needs to happen?
Either Addie or Grayson. Addie's more of like a mom to everybody, and Grayson's more of a calmer type of person. So
speaking of moms, we know the team parents are a big part of it too. Who do you think brings the best snack bags to an away game? What parent do you think brings the best?
Probably Tracy McKenzie. So that's Bailey's mom. She makes some pretty good snack bags. So does Katie's mom.
What's something that would go into a snack bag that would make it like a golden one for you?
Oh, Uncrustables all the way.
What about like something that you like to eat before a game? Like that's the post-game snacks. But what do you like to put in before a game?
Probably my chicken nuggets and mac and cheese. That sounds horrible together, but that's my go-to.
Chicken nuggets, who makes the best nuggets? That's a big question.
I'm gonna say myself because when you pop those in the air fryer, they're crispy.
You're saying you're better than all the fast food places.
Yes, for sure.
I like the confidence. Keep it in the court too. When you think about the songs, the playlist that gets you real jazzed up for a game, what are some songs that end up on that playlist?
Well, we've had a lot of playlists. We like to switch it every once in a while, but I do like my rap on there. I need something to pump me up, and that's it.
Do you have a guilty pleasure song in your playlist that's like, okay, maybe it's not the coolest thing in the world, but I still jam to it?
I don't know if I have a specific song, but I'm not sure about that one.
What about a guilty pleasure in general? Maybe like a TV show that you watch that it's TV trash, but you enjoy it anyway, or maybe a book or a magazine. Do you have any guilty pleasures like that?
I absolutely love Grey's Anatomy. I am obsessed with that. I've seen every single season like 3 times.
That's impressive because there's like 13 seasons.
Yeah.
You're putting in a lot of work to watch all those episodes back to back to back. I know that has a lot of drama, and I know that has a lot of deaths in it. So, spoiler alert to anyone that hasn't seen Grey's Anatomy. What death in Grey's Anatomy hit you the hardest?
Derek. It made me so sad.
Dang. I kind of thought you were going to say that. I felt it coming. But let's talk about your future. Let's get on back to a serious topic. Obviously, you're a senior, which means you're going to graduate and head on to the next chapter of your life. What kind of things do you see yourself doing after high school that you want to accomplish?
I hope to graduate college by the end of that and apply and get into medical school. I'm not really sure what medical school I'm looking into yet, but I'm hoping that after that I can find a job where I want to live.
Do you have a college picked out yet that you're going to go to for those first 4 years?
I do. I am attending Westminster in the fall.
And then you talked about, where you want to get a job, where you want to live. That brings up the question of what's kind of the dream spot where you could plop yourself down and live while you're doing medical school.
Out west looks pretty cool. I've never been there, but it does look amazing. And I'm also a homebody, so it could go either way. I could stay here or I could go there.
Are we talking way out west, like California, or like in the middle, like Colorado or something?
The middle.
All right. So you said you're a homebody, but you're gonna have to leave to go to Westminster and live on campus, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
What makes you the most nervous about leaving home and not having those comforts anymore?
Just the fact that I'm not going to be around the people that I'm used to being around every day, like at school, and especially my family, which I'll see on the weekends. I'll come home and see on the weekends. But I think the friend part is definitely the most nerve-wracking for me because I'm not the most social person. So being around the comfort of the people that I know makes me a little nervous.
What do you think is one life skill that you've taken for granted that you're going to miss a lot when you're not, when you're away from home?
My communication with people. I think communication's a big thing coming from anywhere. You have to communicate with people in life, and if you don't take advantage of that when you're younger, then it's not going to be very good when you're older.
All right, Taylor, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to thank your support system and all the people that have been there for you throughout the years and the people that have kind of had your back throughout the whole journey.
Well, I want to thank all my coaches for being able to teach me what the meaning of basketball was throughout all my 4 years of high school. And I want to thank my family for being there for me, especially my dad. My dad's coached me since I was young, and knowing that he's able to be there this year as my coach makes me heartwarm with love. And that's all.
Taylor, thank you so much for the time and letting us get to know you a little bit. We wish you the best of luck in the tournament run. We hope it goes as long as it can, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you.